I remember growing up and the kind of things that I heard from my parents were about, boys don't cry and you're meant to be stoic and you are not meant to show emotion or talk about these things, and actually engaging in violent behavior as a way to solve problems. If somebody told you something at school, you were not meant to let it pass, right? So you needed to act on that. And those are the kind of things that stay with you for the rest of your life if you don't start questioning. I continue to see a number of behavior in men that shows clearly that we're struggling defining how we're feeling and managing how we're feeling and talking about that. Many of the behaviors that I'm seeing are more covert than overt. So a lot of sexist comments and jokes, at work or when I'm hanging out with friends. I'm an academic, so seeing men condescendingly explaining things to women, and particularly things where women are the expert in the area. So I've seen a lot of that. A lot of the abusive behavior that was being displayed towards women, that's what they learned as something that was normal or natural to perform. I think it's very interesting how we continue to use humor as a way to express these very outdated and harmful attitudes. If you see a joke that is entirely inappropriate and you call it out, and having your friends, both men and women, saying that you just need to lighten up, and relax about it, is one very common thing that we continue to observe in the community. And because it's very hard to call out, so this is the problem with jokes of that kind, right? You need to make an effort to call it out and explain to people why they are problematic. And not only are you at the receiving end of an inappropriate joke, but then your social competence is also being challenged because people criticize you for not being able to enjoy the humor. Or again, sometimes you see women making jokes about men who appear to be weak or too emotional. Okay? And so what we see there is that everybody is participating in this process of perpetuating a specific kind of masculinity. For me, one key element of being a good ally is not doing things, for women, but doing things with women. Okay? So asking questions about what is it exactly that women want and women need should be the first step in any effort to be a good ally. People do not understand that feminism is not about women having more power than men or taking all opportunities from men, but about equal access to opportunities and resources. Or in many situations, also when you call out inappropriate behavior, what you find is that both men and women think that we're just joking, for instance. There's no excuse, really, for people to not understand that what we're talking about here is about equality, okay? Equality of access and opportunities for men and women. And so, stop making excuses about that. There's plenty of information out there. If you really care, there's a lot that you could do to learn. My take-home message is we need to stop making up excuses, okay? Gender equity is a problem for everybody. So if you're a guy and you think that gender inequality is not a problem for you and it doesn't affect you, you need to have a reality check here, because it is a problem for you. It does affect you. It affects you directly and indirectly through your family. If you're gonna go and play sports with your mate, right? Like I do. I used to go and play squash every Saturday with one of my friends, right? So that's a space that is there for you to talk about many things. It's not just about just hitting the ball, right? But if there is something about how you're feeling, or social issues that you see that are critical, that you think that are problematic, and again, gender inequality is one of those issues. That's a space to talk about it. If you have an understanding of what gender inequality is and the consequences of it, use each one of these spaces where you're finding yourself with your kids, your friends, your colleagues, to talk about it.